That's where I'm taking up your point, is that, you know, when we were going out, we were trying to sell ourselves as a product development company, which actually we were not. You know, our core business still remains the intellectual property and legal share services. But when we were going out and getting people, we were looking at getting people from Adobe and Intel and Microsoft, you know. So then that, you know, yes, and then suddenly you realize that no, because their aspiration and their, you know, demands will be very different after a while. Because they will see that, no, this is not, because I still want to be into my core area, which is the product development, and I would like to be with a company which is being tagged as a product development company.
You see, Pankaj, I would also like to add here one other point. In fact, today somewhere the system also has started taking care of that. For instance, we talk to legal. Today you have two streams of legal qualification, one which can practice, one which can't. You know, you have those kind of systems also. If you do a 2-year degree, then you can't. If you do 3 years or 4 years, you can. So why not we induct those people who want to get into corporate, who don't want to get into practice, and then those problems will be automatically solved. Or for the jobs for which we participate.
So just adding that, you know, there's one big challenge with the outsourcing industry, and that is the communication skills.
Yeah, I want to come to that.
Where
you go from tier 1 to tier 2, or you know, into some of these institutes.
Yeah.
So, in terms of technical skills, they might be at par, or they can be brought at par.
Yeah.
But to bridge that communication skill gap is a big challenge.
That's right. And in fact, those who have it, there is the advantage of that also. I can share Aditya because I have also taught in MDI. Aditya knows that.
Yeah.
So you know, one of the very interesting things which I used to see which this industry has done. For our evening MBA, many a time when we used to interview candidates for selection, and there we didn't have like full-time MBA, the requirements of 50% and all that. At times we used to get very smart people who were third-class BA, but good in English. And then once they were doing their part-time MBA, then naturally their aspiration will rise.
And I think one of the challenges for ITS will always remain that what is the target population from where you want to hire? So,
no, but why don't you grow that, Anshuman? I understand. I think everyone here buys that point.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, isn't it up to the industry to also grow that population?
That's the way it is.
No,
I mean,
but
at least
that's the way it is
I get
happening.
it.
So there are two elements to it. One is you can have a hire to train model where you can do a basic selection criteria, hire some basic people with, let's say, a neutral accent or a basic English, and then put them through a 3-week, 4-week, 6 weeks sort of a training program. Second, you can look at alternate pools as well. So you can have retired people, you can have housewives who could be taken into for these assignments. And coming to your point, Professor, on assessments, you know, the biggest challenge is that when you are doing, let's say, a voice assessment or any type of a psychological assessment, or let's say any type of a personality assessment, at the entry level it is more critical. For the mid level and upwards, you are sure that you have 2-3 rounds.
I am talking about entry level.
But the entry level doesn't really give you the ROI because the shelf life is just about 18 months or 24 months, and the person leaves after that particular tenure, serving that tenure. So that's a strange dilemma. Whilst you would want to do some sort of assessment.
No, what I was trying to actually say, there was a time when these kind of skills were not required that much.
Yeah.
You know, you had only here and there some people like who are selling their voice like Amin Siani and all those. Okay? Today you have large number of people who may not be Amin Sianis, but whose voice is important when you want to hear a nice voice when you are talking to someone on these kind of services.
So I was just trying to build on to your point in terms of assessment, not only voice, but I'm saying overall assessments. To what extent can we incorporate some sort of a assessment for people at the entry level?
Yeah, that's
when the tenure is short, when you know predictably that the shelf life is small, or beyond a certain point in time, they would not be financially viable because your cost pyramid will get impacted.
It's a chicken egg thing. I think.
It's a,
I mean, I'm not sure which one. If you invest that time and tell them that you think they're worth it and you're not looking at them in an 18-month time frame, possibly they lost.
And the same thing is with your education thing also. You said you can look, I mean, there's no education barrier. So ultimately that respect will not come because in India, everybody respects only people who are qualified and educated. So the industry, 90% of the workforce is the least common denominator in terms of education. It's only on English that you're hiring, most of them. So there obviously that respect for the industry is not there and it's not a
which basically I think calls for some kind of
moment they study, they will move out there.
I think Ira would be very happy. He's going to be a convener. We'd be very happy to work with the industry on branding it. I think it's important for people to know that the career is no longer restricted to the lowest common denominator.
Yeah.
For IP, there's a school now which gives you certification and they take students from IIT. I've forgotten the name of the school. Girija Verma heads it.
Is it?
Yeah. In fact, maybe I should just put you on to her. Yeah, because they called me essentially to say, look, can you help us? We need guys from IIT, etc., to come and join this, and get certified because you need techies who understand the patenting process and the technology and stuff.
Sure.
And unfortunately, this is my age catching up. I've forgotten the name of it.
EY sir used to hire a lot of IITians for their intellectual property.
hire a lot of engineers. Yeah, not necessarily from IITs.
Earlier it used to be completely IIT.
We got the lessons.
But they do hire professors.
No, but I have had interactions with a couple of MBA colleges where there were tier 3 colleges which have been kind of facing the problem of placing their people and so on, and since I have myself also worked in the KPO industry, I actually proposed to them that in the last 6 months